Good morning, all. Welcome to Rugby Chat for March the 4th, 2025. Straight into it. Only 10 minutes late this time round, so we're improving on our 10 o'clock kickoff. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good, Rab. How you getting on?
Oh, well, I thought stir the pot a bit and go Ukraine. Why not? Because I tell you what, that was a bit of comedy genius over the weekend watching that. And but I'm not going to get all political. I just thought I'd give my support to the Ukrainian rugby players out there who are still playing rugby, even though they play all their games in Poland. So, it's a world game. We've got to love it. Doesn't matter where you're from. Unfortunately, Russia are banned from everything at the moment. So I can't wear their jersey. So I'll wait until they are allowed back into the world of rugby. But, wow, what a weekend. What was your thoughts about what we just saw? And was that a penalty try in the Canes game? But, hey, we'll get straight into it. We won't muck around. And if you've got any comments for us, throw them in the comments below, and we will try and answer them. But the good thing is, I suppose one of the things are the results from the weekend that we have to have a look at. And we'll kick off with that Highlanders Moana Pacifica game. Wow, 31-10 at half-time. And I think they were still eating their oranges in the second half, the Highlanders. They hadn't come out of the sheds. But, wow, did they hold on for a narrow victory? Your thoughts on that? Did you see the highlights?
Yeah, no, I actually watched that game. That was a really good performance from the Highlanders. Obviously, Moana come back in the second half. Might have got a bit of a tongue up from Tana in the changing rooms, and obviously Artie Savia had a big part to play in the second half. And I thought the Highlanders were actually lucky to win it. Obviously, Moana missed a couple of conversions, which would have been the difference. But once again, I thought Michael Manson and the halfback Hasty were standout performers.
Yeah, well, I was sitting there right near the end there, and something particular happened. I don't know if you noticed it, but I thought, oh my God, are you going to go from hero to zero to Machi Tavanaiwai when he got that ball and he kicked it out into the full? And I thought, oh no, shit, here we go. The Moana Pacifica are going to squeak a penalty here and steal it at the end, but luckily they got the ball back from the line out, and it was like, oh my God. I noticed it a lot in the game, a lot of kicks going out on the full. Do you think, we all know that the 50-22 is a great tool to have in your kit, but you think they're going for it too much? Because I saw over the weekend a lot of kicks, them aiming for the 50-22, and they completely miss it and end up back on their own 22. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty handy skill to have, but you've got to be pretty good at it. Obviously there's some fellas within the competition that are geniuses at it, and as we saw on the weekend, some of them tried to do it but didn't quite pull it off, and it's just you got to come all the way back to where you kicked it, so it's a big waste of time, really. But yeah, no, it's we've seen some really good 50-22s in the competition so far.
Yeah, well, we have, and it does make a hell of a difference on that attack play. But anyway, I know I went in Highlanders. I can't remember what you said, but hey.
Highlanders.
Yeah, so we're 1 from 1. And then, of course, we went over to poor old Sydney for the Drua game. And, you've got to ask the question, what does the Drua have to do to win away from home? They've gone about 16, 17 games now away from home on the trot, losing. The last time they won was against Moana Pacifica back in 2023. And that was a 34-31 victory that day. And I'm guessing that was somewhere in Auckland. But the Waratahs held on to win 29-24. But the Drua, they show the glimpses. They have got the personnel, but they've just got to sort out this road trip hoodoo.
Yeah, I think Fiji are taking a while to find their straps. I'm not too sure what's going on, whether it be they're still sounding out the combinations together. I see they dropped Marcy for that game. I'm not too sure whether he's injured or whether he's just in a poor patch of form. But something to take out of the Fijian performance. I thought both the wingers had a great game. They were active and looking for work. Tane Edmed had a solid game off the boot, which we expected, and there was also that little video that's going around on social media of the Fijian player being put in a headlock in the maul that was missed. So yeah, which is a no-no in this day and age. But yeah, that was missed.
And how? But then they will see something, and you go, "How did they see that?" Yeah. He must have been out getting himself a coffee at the time or something. But yeah, there is some.
Well, there's no. Well, sometimes there's no consistency between the refs and the TMOs. There should be consistency right across the board, but it seems to be a bit up and down. And the TMOs are there to pick up that sort of stuff. And obviously the touch judges too can see what the ref can't see if he's on the other side of the maul or away from the maul. You know what I mean?
Well, I am personally finding the touch judges are totally missing in action at the moment, because in all the next three games we're going to chat about, there were plenty of things where the referee's back was turned and, I don't know, offside, late tackle, whatever, hands and rucks, whatever, knock-ons, whatever. Okay, if the referee's back is turned, that's where the touch judge comes in. And if the touch judge missed it, that's why they've got 15,000 TMOs up in the camera booth looking at every angle. If I can see stuff on my TV, how can they not see it? That's the question that has to be asked. If we're going to have a fair competition, that's where I think the referees, they'll be talking about that in their own little conferences at the moment about what's happened and how the weekend went. But I just hope it does, because even though the scores are amazing and we've got great attacking rugby, it's almost like the defence is out the window and all we want is attack, attack, attack. Let's get all these teams into attacking positions instead of rewarding those teams that had been defending well. So, that's just my thought. So anyway, I went the Waratahs there. I think you went the Drua from memory.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So 2-1 to me. And then, of course, we headed on Saturday to Hamilton, and we had the Chiefs and the Brumbies. Now, I said this was going to be a tough match. I didn't expect the high score it was. I thought it might have been a lot closer. But the Chiefs, 3 from 3 now, dare I say it, but they are looking the goods.
Yeah, they are. That was another pretty polished performance against a above average Brumbies side. I thought Damien McKenzie, he had a blinder. Corey Toole, the winger for the Brumbies, he put on his normal consistent performance. But that was a very well drilled Chiefs side, and I think they are well on track to give Clayton McMillan a good send off this year.
So, since we're on the Clayton McMillan angle, so if he leaves, are we going to see Warren Gatlin back in the Chiefs in 2026?
I highly doubt it, but anything's possible.
Oh, I know. It's just very interesting because.
Well, Warren Gatlin did make it clear when he left the Wales side that he wanted to be home closer to family. But whether he wants to carry on coaching in any capacity or whatever is yet to be decided. I think he probably just needs to take a break away from the game for a while because he's copped a lot of flack online.
Well, yeah, and true. And there's always the job of, what do you call it? A rugby director. Because he's been it before at the Chiefs. And but then, they didn't do too good. But anyway, so, so we both, I believe, went for the Chiefs in that game. So 3-2. And then we come to Wellington. Oh, my God. I blame the roadie for this because I told him the score in the Brumbies-Chiefs game. And, well, poor old roadie got a bit upset with me. And he cursed the Hurricanes. Yes, the roadie, the Cantabrian one-eyed mate of ours, said, go the Blues. And I'm not going to let that go. A person from the South Island said, go the Blues. Why? Because I told him the score in the Chiefs-Brumbies game, which I thought he was watching or asleep or whatever. So he cursed my team. And, of course, we did. We went down 33-29 to the Blues. The world champions are back on top. They did have a penalty try. So you take that 7 points out, that would have been 29-26. I know I'm clutching at straws here. But my biggest takeaway from this game was not that the Blues won, not that the Hurricanes won, but again, the officiating. How many times were the Hurricanes, and you can look at this on the replay, people, because I'm not making this up, were penalised in the 22 of the Blues and then were given full team warnings, which then equated to a couple of yellow cards. Then when the Blues were in the 22 and were, defending their 22 and were giving away penalty after penalty, no team warning, no yellow cards. We do one infringement, boom, team warning. I'd really like to know from a referee, and I know Ben O'Keefe does follow us here on Rugby Heartland, what constitutes a team warning? How many penalties do have to be given for a team to be warned that the next penalty will be a yellow card?
Well, this game, obviously we've seen 3 yellow cards for the Canes and 1 for the Blues, so there was 13 on 14 at one stage. From what I've seen on the game so far this year, and I've watched a few highlights from last year over and over again just to kill the boredom. It's mostly gone to two penalties, and then the team gets a warning. But it just depends, on the circumstances and rah. And then you got that red card for Hoskins Satutu, who went up yesterday. That the judiciary, I haven't heard a result of that yet. But this game, there was a lot of HIAs in this game. It was a brutal game. The Blues had nothing to lose and everything to gain. I thought Harry Godfrey, they call him the baby face, Bowden Barrett, he had a great game. And I also seen Jason Ryan in the stand.
Yes, I saw that. And the other thing is, too, with Harry Godfrey, one comment that I made on Saturday night is, you know who he does remind me of? He reminds me of Jimmy Gopperth. Right. He's got that Jimmy Gopperth sort of pencil look about him. So, but yeah, it was sort of like, at least, though, the Canes walked away with a bonus point. We got something out of it. We're still ahead of the mighty world champion, can't get beaten Blues. I don't care if people want to jump online now and give me crap, but at the end of the day, they're 1 and 2. But so are the Hurricanes, and you could only beat us by 4 with a penalty try. Ha ha! But anyway, so we'll end up with this last game, and poor old Western Force. They had it in the bag. They could have been 3-0 going into week 4, and the Reds, whom I picked. So I'm guessing you went the Blues anyway. So if that's the case, we're 2-2. But I'm pretty sure I did end up going for the Reds in this game, only because of their performance last week. But it took them to the 79th minute to score the winning try. So not a great welcome for their new director of rugby at Perth, one Leon McDonald, who we spoke about last week, about whatever happened to him. or actually a couple of weeks ago we said that. And so he showed up, and but the Western Force, they're still looking good. As I said, a bounce of the ball, and they had that victory on Saturday night.
Yeah, it was only going to be a matter of time before the Western Force dropped one, and it just happened to be against the Brumbies, who have only, well, I think that might have been their second game of their competition. But both coaches can be pretty proud of the teams and the way they performed. I thought Ben Donaldson had another great game, and Pate McDermott and Tom Liner at 9 and 10 for the Reds shone out for me in that game.
Yeah, well, I mean, Donaldson has, I think, wrapped up that number 10 jersey for the Wallabies. I mean, he's been playing really well. I don't think Laodicea for the Brumbies and all that hasn't done too well. But speaking of Harry Godfrey, that's him there. So we'll just try and bring this up so people can see. So we've got the Chiefs on top there, 13 points. We've got the Queensland Reds now 2-0 on 9. The Highlanders still hanging in there in third place on 9. We've got the Western Force on 9. The Waratahs on 8. And then the Hurricanes on 5. The reason I just sort of stopped there is because, remember, this year only the top 6 teams go through to the to the finals. So if we bring that table up a bit more, we've still got the Brumbies and the Blues and the Crusaders and the Drua and Pacifica. So the Blues, they're currently now on 5, and same with the Hurricanes, but the Hurricanes are up there on a better point differential. I'm guessing people are going to be going, oh, the Blues should be in front of the Hurricanes because the Blues beat the Hurricanes. Well, this is the official table off the Super Rugby site. So suck it up, buttercup. So, I mean, the thing is, though, unfortunately for Moana Pacifica and the Drua, they are still, I mean, out of those teams in the bottom 5, you could still probably circle Crusaders, Blues, and Brumbies, right? So what 3 teams in the 6 would they be replacing, do you think, come finals time? We can start talking that now because we're up to week 4.
Yeah. The Force, the Waratahs, and well, this is my honest opinion. I don't think Moana Pacifica and the Drua will be there. The Crusaders will be lucky to be there, but yeah, I think the top 6 for me is pretty much the Chiefs, the Reds, the Highlanders, the Brumbies, the Hurricanes, maybe the Blues, but I'm not a Blues supporter, so I'll just chuck that in there.
Yeah. I'd love to see them finish 7th. I really would. I'd love even 8th, and then I don't mind if the Hurricanes are 7th. Well, I do mind, but you know what I mean. But but that's the results of the cultural round. But one stat that popped up this morning, and this is what we're saying: 140 tries so far in 15 games. You know, sure, let's be entertained, but the South Africans, the French, and everything like that, well, no defence involved. The British Lions will be looking at this going, okay, we can actually, what's the word I'm looking for here? Attack the defence of these teams, because 140 tries at 10 tries a game. I mean, yeah, again, don't get me wrong, but I'd still love the 21-20 results. I still love the 19-12 results. Do we, now the teams have all sort of settled into their business, are we going to see closer scores this weekend? I don't think we will. I mean, are we going to hit 200 tries in 20 games?
Well, it's a possibility, isn't it? But this is ever since round 1 that this year's been touted as probably the best year so far for the competition. So let's hope it stays that way and gives the spectators and other crowds something to be pleased about and wanting to get along the games.
Yeah, I know. So that's all the Yahoo that we've got from last week. We've just got to kick into this weekend now. And, of course, Friday night we've got the Blues taking on the Brumbies at Eden Park at 7:05. I was a bit slack on my graphics this week, so I've got the times in front of me here. So, yeah, Brumbies, they'll be hurting after last weekend. They've had a good, 2 weeks now here in New Zealand. They got Aotearoa. Just threw that in, being culturally thingy. Now, it would be great to see a crowd like that in the background at Eden Park. You know it's not going to be. They'll probably have about 10,000 people. But then they did win last week, so they might get 12,000 people now at Eden Park, National Stadium. Well, you know, there's only one place I'm going to go in this game, isn't it? And that's going to be the Brumbies all day, every day for me to get up over the Blues, and probably by 9 points deny the Blues a bonus point. Your pick?
I'm going to go for the Blues in this game. Blues by 8.
Blues by 8.
I think they're capable of winning. Don't get me wrong, but whether the Brumbies can bounce back from last week and beat them remains to be seen. But I'll go the Blues this week for that one.
Well, okay. You forgot. I have the power to turn you off. How dare you insult me by picking the Blues? Sorry, I had to do that.
I knew that'd get you going.
No, Brumbies all day. I'm going to go for the Aussies. They're going to kick the evil Empire's butt and re-inflict the misery. Because will they be without Hoskins Satutu? My money is, if you look at it, he should have 3 weeks. That's the going rate at the moment. I'm going to throw some money out there and go, he'll get off on a technicality. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm wrong.
Well, I think he should get at least 3 weeks, but they'll drop it to probably 2 weeks and send him back to tackle school.
But then you look at poor old Daniel Leonard-Brown in tackle school. I'm sorry, but this is not cricket, right? Where, you've got a suspect bowling arm. You must go back to bowling school. These guys are all internationals. Hoskins Satutu was apparently the Super Rugby New Zealand Player of the Year last year. If he does not know how to tackle, what's he do? Go into a classroom and there's a guy there teaching him how to tackle a dummy?
I don't know, mate.
And what will he... So he learns that this week. When I last went to school, I'd forgotten what I'd learnt by lunchtime. So, why? Because I wanted my lunch. But you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous, this tackle school thing. It's right up there with the cricket bowling action. If you're good enough to play for your country, if you're good enough to be one of the top paid players in the country, if you're good enough for Europe to come in and go, here's a big check, wave it at you, you'd think you'd know how to tackle instead of being sort of sent to the principal's office.
Yeah, well, one thing that makes me wonder is, all these players get, like Daniel Leonard-Brown, they get 3 weeks for a dangerous tackle. But if that happened in a Heartland competition, or if someone headbutted something or someone or whatever, well, they'll get 3 weeks and they'll do the whole 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly. There would be no mitigating because the Heartland teams don't have the money for the fancy lawyers. My contract says this, and I can't have more than 2 weeks off. But they'll be aiming for something because they will be having their bye coming up in a few weeks, I believe. When is their bye? Their bye isn't until round 7. So if he gets 3 weeks now, that's 4, 5, 6. Then he has a bye. So he'll have 4 weeks off, right? So that will be their mitigating circumstance that, 3 becomes 2 because then he will have one game, and then we've got a bye. So if he gets 3 weeks now, he's off. He's not playing for over a month. Oh, we can't have that player safety. But anyway, go the Brumbies. The next game is in Lautoka. Is this going to be where the Chiefs come unstuck? We've just already spoken about how the Drua are terrible away from home. But when they're at home and they've got 15,000 screaming Fijians all wearing merchandise, and depending on what the weather is, with a few storms all around the place, I think the Chiefs will be a bit nervous about this match.
Yeah, well, finally the Fijians are back at one of their famous stomping grounds, Churchill Park in Lautoka. If the weather's fine, well, obviously it's going to be fine. The Chiefs will have to acclimatise to that, but I think the Chiefs should be too strong. But if my memory serves me right, the Drua have beaten the Chiefs at home before. Was it last year or the year before?
Yes, that is correct. I'll just say yes.
Yeah. So if they can repeat that performance, well, the Chiefs are in for a long flight home. But I think the Chiefs should be too strong.
Well, okay, I will go the Drua. So we're really button heads here today after 2 games. We're both on either side. I'm going to go the Drua because they did rest on a lot of. I mean, they've had 3 totally different lineups in 3 matches. Glenn Jackson is quite an astute coach. We know how good he can be. So I'm going to go the Drua here because I've got a feeling the Chiefs might rest a couple of their top liners this week. We'll know this later in the week when they announce the squads. But I think Glenn Jackson may have been targeting this game, saying, right, guys, you got 3 weeks to lock down your starting 23 position for the rest of the season. And I think he's seen enough of all the players now to put out his number 123 against the Chiefs. So, because they'll have to be on their A game. And as I said, if the Chiefs take it lightly, go in there, I think it could be detrimental to their victory. So, I'll go the Drua, 100% there, and you're going the Chiefs. So we're both, as I said, butting heads. The next game, though, is at, North Harbour Stadium. Moana Pacifica playing the Hurricanes. Important game, again, for both teams is Moana, they've been unlucky. And I mean, the inspirational Artie Savi, he the problem is he is great. He is a great player. He's bringing a lot to the Moana team. But the other 22 have to start stepping up. Their winger's pretty good. That little left winger, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Moana Pacifica, though, have beaten the Hurricanes up north before. And that quite an upset win a couple of years ago. So it is a tough battle. And if the Hurricanes want to be in that top 6, this is a game, it is a must-win game for the Canes. So I'm just going to come straight out and go Canes to win. But which way are you leaning?
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Canes. It was quite interesting watching the interview, watching Joey Wheeler's interview with Duplicity Cariffi after the game last week. He pretty much put the losing of that game down to just the one moment, and we can all see where that one moment was. But yeah, I think the Hurricanes will be too strong. I think the Hurricanes by 15 at least.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that the Hurricanes are going to wear their black jerseys. That's why I've given the black jersey here on the graphic. But of course, the Moana Pacifica tend to play in the blues. But if you have the blue and the black, there's going to be a clash there. So, and the Hurricanes aren't going to wear yellow because apparently yellow clashes with blue. So that's why I've given the Moana Pacifica their white jersey. And I do admit, I did love the Pacific Islanders jersey last week. I do have an original Pacific Islanders one from their tour to Europe and back in the 2000s. So it's a prized possession in the Rabbit Cave here. So, but no, that kicks off anyway at that's a 7 o'clock kickoff. So that's a nice Saturday night evening for me to sit back and have a few quiet ones. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I think it'll be a good game, and I think the Hurricanes will step it up a bit to get that bonus point because they're going to be important, and I think they might win by 14. There you go. That's for your tipping comps, people. 14 points to the Canes. All right. Then we head back to Sydney and the Waratahs and the Force. Well, normally you'd 100% say Waratahs will win this by 30 points. That's what everyone said when the Force went to Brisbane. Not Brisbane. Went to the Brumbies and dealt to the Brumbies. So, this game kicks off at Sydney at 9:35 on Saturday night. And there is a reason why I keep saying Friday night, Saturday night. It will come clear in a minute. But, Waratahs got out of jail against the Drua. The Western Force are a bit better drilled side than the Drua. They just went down to the Reds last weekend. Oh, this is a toughie. I'm going to let you pick it first.
Well, this matchup got the potential to be a really, really good game. So, yeah. I'm going to go with the Waratahs by 8.
Okay. Well, because I believe that they will be playing in their gold jerseys, which just happens to be like the Hurricanes, I'm going to go the Western Force. I did get a nice cheap jersey off Temu of theirs, so that's not too bad. It's not the greatest shirt, but it's a good shirt. No, I'm going to go the Western Force, and I'm going to go the Western Force by 3 points. I reckon that Donaldson will get a late penalty or something like that. It's going to come down to the wire. And I think, because these two teams are... Because whoever wins this are pretty much top dog in Australia. And who would have thought at the start of the season we would be saying the top dog was the Western Force? Really? I mean, they've turned a corner. And they've picked up some good players from the Aussie draft after the collapse of the Melbourne Rebels. But then, of course, the Waratahs are the Warra Rebels, I'd like to call them, because the half their team were from the Melbourne Rebels. So, and we know Western Force can travel. So I'm going to go the Force by 3, and you're going the Waratahs by what? 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I keep on saying Friday night and keep on saying Saturday night is on Sunday, we have our first Sunday game. I'll just double check that. I think it's our first Sunday game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a double header with the girls.
Yeah. So, we'll have a look at those results in a minute. But yeah, so the Crusaders Reds, 3:35 at Christchurch at Apollo Projects. Oh God, I can't wait for their new stadium. I've been watching the old, Christchurch Council videos of the new stadium going up. I tell you, that looks magnificent. Even though I'm not a great fan of who their sponsor is, I'll still just call it Takaha, or we'll have to come up with a nickname for it because everyone calls Forsyth Bar the Lunchbox. Everyone calls Sky Stadium the Cake Tin. So Takaha, for me, great name. Don't like the other one. I'm not even going to mention the sponsor's name because they don't pay me anything. We'll have to come up with some sort of fun nickname for the Crusaders. Maybe One Eye Patch Stadium or something like that. I don't know. Pirate Stadium because of their one-eyedness for Canterbury sides. I don't know. We'll have to come up with
I've seen some drone footage of that stadium, and it really does look great. It's a massive stadium, and it's been a massive construction project being undertaken, and I do believe it is on time and under budget, so that's even better.
Exactly. And it's only 1 minute from the bars. How good's that? That'll be worth a trip down to bloody Christchurch now for a game. Go to the game and then wander out and head straight to the pub, But drink responsibly, people, because, we've got to be all responsible now. We can't get too inebriated. So we've talked all about it. So the Crusaders and the Reds. So the Reds are coming off, 2 close wins. Crusaders started with a hiss and a roar and then crashed and burned. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go the Crusaders to win this by 10.
Well, I don't support the Crusaders, so I'm going to go the Reds by 8.
Sorry, said the mid-Canterbury man.
That'll stir all my haters up.
We might have to get old Danny Bill on the show one day and let him have a crack at you. But yeah, okay. Well, I think the Crusaders will get there only because after the Blues get beaten by the Brumbies and the Hurricanes beat the Pacifica and then the Crusaders beat the Reds, and then maybe the Drua beating the Chiefs. That could push the mighty Blues world champions. They can never get beaten. That might push them back down to like 9th or 10th place. So 10th place. So that's where I'm.
No. Well, put it this way: if the Crusaders get beaten, it's gonna be a big talking point.
It will be 100% will be. I mean, I don't know if Cody Taylor is back yet. I know he was off the last game through injury. But it'll be interesting to see what these lineups are going to be like. So it'll be pretty cool. But anyway, and of course, who gets the bye this week? It is the mighty Highlanders. So your Highlanders get the week off to relax, go surfing down at wherever the beach is there. I can't even think of that off the top of my head. St Kilda, that's the one I'm thinking of. Not St Kilda in Melbourne or Australia, but St Kilda in Dunedin. But they get the bye. And the deserved one too. I mean, they'll be sitting back going, okay, how have we done? Yep, no, we're on track. Jamie Joseph would be a happy camper. So we look forward to when they come back next week, because next week is birthday weekend for the Rabbit. And the Highlanders will be hosting the Hurricanes on Friday night next week. So, what I'll be doing? I'll be celebrating another trip around the sun. So, so why not better than watch Highlanders Hurricanes game? So anyway, that's Super Rugby. But then we have All Picky started last weekend. Quickly, having a look at that. With the Matatu, they played amazingly, I thought, to get up by 31-25 over the Chiefs. Did you see any of those games?
Oh, I had a quick look at this game here. I thought the Chiefs would have bagged it, but no, the Auckland girls played really good, to be fair.
The Auckland girls? Matatu?
Sorry.
Your girls. It's all your girls from down south.
Sorry, I thought it was Auckland.
No. Look, I'll even blow it up. See, Matatu.
It's got Baileys on it. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then in the other game, we had Portia Woodman showing up for. I thought I had that result up. Okay, I grabbed the wrong image there, but anyway, Portia Woodman, she started for the Blues, and oh my God, they demolished the Hurricane Pillar by 50 points to 10, and it was just like, ouch. That was a hiding, especially at home in anyone's language. It was a shame there was only 30 people at the stadium watching the game, because I mean, hey, there should have been at least 100 there just wanting to see Portia Whitcliffe, play, because she's a she's a legend of the game. That's all I can say. So anyway, this weekend on Friday, we've got the Blues taking on the Chiefs Manawa up there at Eden Park in the double header before the Blues Brumbies game. And then on Sunday, before, as we just mentioned, the Reds Crusaders game, Matatu will be hosting the Pua. Okay, I'm just going to say Matatu are going to smash the Hurricanes, the girls. I think they're just, they've got too many young girls in the Hurricanes squad. They need a lot more experience in there. But this Blues and Chiefs game, after what the Blues did to the Chiefs Manawa, you can't go past the Blues women probably picking up a 30-point win against the Chiefs Manawa, and they'll be on target to take out the Super Rugby or Picky come the end of the year, and then take on the winners of the Aussie competition this year as well. So at the end of it, when they go to the finals, the what do you call it? The Super Rugby final will be between the Super W champions in Australia and the All Picky champions. And at this stage, they've got them down playing the game here, but it depends on, I suppose, where the grand final will be held, because they'll definitely do a double header that day. So, what else have we got? International news. Here we go. We've just had the World Sevens Challenger Series in South Africa. This is the Challenge Series, so who's going to replace the worst team in the World Series? And, Kenya got up and won the women's competition, beating... Oh, shit. It's just completely left my brain. I had it all set up. Kenya won, the women, the Lionesses, but in the men, the winners were Chile, who got up over Canada to take out the first leg of this Challenger Series. So the Chileans are actually starting to make a mark on the world, not just the 15s, but then teams like my famous Madagascar and all that, they're going pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that. And, of course, we've got the Six Nations on this week. Six Nations. Where are we? Here we go. I'll just try and find this. All right. So I haven't got any graphics for this, so we'll just blah, blah. So Ireland take on France in Dublin. Saturday, 3:15, Sunday morning, New Zealand time. Ireland or France? Who's going to be the Six Nations champion with 1 round to go?
Oh, this is a tough game. This is a tough game to pick. On form, you'd have to go with Ireland, but we know what France are capable of. I'm going to go Ireland.
Ireland? I'm going to go France, because after I said the Italians would beat them or get close, I was not expecting a 70-odd points from the French against the Italians after their draw last year. So I just think the French are on fire. Dupont has just been a magician as he is. And Ireland, sure, they've got all these people now coming up going, this is my final year, Marnie, Hearns and all that and company. Emotion can only get you so far, but also a winning mentality can too. And sure, they've got the Triple Crown, but the French are another beast. And I think the French are going to show up and do the business there. At 5:45 on Sunday morning, New Zealand time, we've got Scotland hosting Wales. Now, all day, every day, Scotland, right? I thought the Welsh played a lot better against the Irish in round 3 when they only went down by 27-18 to the Irish at home. Do you think another couple of weeks with the new powers that be in Welsh rugby, do you think the Welsh are going to get up over Scotland, or do you think Scotland are going to be too strong?
I think Scotland will be too strong, but it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see Wales win and get some form back. Obviously they've been through a pretty pretty rough patch of form in the last year or two. But yeah, no, I'm going to pick the Scots on that one.
The Scots. And then, of course, on Monday morning, okay, well, I'll just go Wales because we're going opposite directions here. So whoever wins will know. And so, in saying that, we go to Monday morning, 4 o'clock New Zealand time. England, Italy.
We know who's going to win this one, don't we?
Oh, totally. The Azzurri, the mighty Blues of the Roman Empire. They're going to get up. They're going to show up at Twickenham. Hey, if Fiji can go to Twickenham and upset the apple cart over there at the Cabbage Patch, why not the Azzurri show up at Twickenham and go, hello, King Charles?
No, I think England are going to smash them.
Oh, okay.
I think Marcus Smith's going to get a 20-point haul and they're going to smash them.
Well, you know, I totally agree with you, but because we're going to be opposites attract, I'm going the Azzurri, go the mighty Blues of the Italians. So, yeah. So
and I'll pick Mario and Toje to score the first try for the England.
Well, what do we get on that with the TAB? What will he be paying? About $8?
Yeah, he'd be paying good money probably.
Yeah. So, what else have we got coming up? We won't even talk about the other bloody city kick and giggle game that started in Las Vegas because that's none of our business. Major League Rugby around the world. We've just had the end of round 3 over there in America. The team I sort of follow, the Miami Sharks, they got up a good win last weekend by 32-31 over the Anthem, who are coached by none other than Alama Iramia of All Black New Zealand Hurricanes fame. Some interesting scores. I've watched a couple of these games because they are available to watch on Sky, as well as on other platforms, of course. The Utah Warriors, they're going really well at the moment. They upset New Orleans by 55-21. San Diego and Utah are the only two unbeaten teams now. And San Diego got up over Old Glory, which is a weird name for a team. Sounds like Glory Hole. But anyway, by 26 points to 10. The couple of games I did watch fully, though, was the Houston Sabercats and Seattle Seawolves. The reason I was watching that is I know a few people at Houston. And Seattle have the backing of the Crusaders, believe it or not. They're like a partner over there. And these games are always close. And it showed again with Houston getting up at they call Space City by 24-21. That was if you can see highlights of that, go and have a look. It was a good game. A couple of red cards near the end for Seattle, which was a bit of a worry. And then, of course, yesterday, one of the newer teams, Chicago Hounds, completely annihilated one of the past champions in New England by 36 points to 7. No one saw that coming. So that's all exciting stuff. But I think I'll just double check who's playing this weekend. Oh, yeah, no. So San Diego, as I said, unbeaten. They've got Los Angeles and Utah have got Houston. So they'll be the two games to keep an eye out for on your media feeds. Anything else? Any other gossip? Oh, yes. Congratulations time, isn't it? Congratulations to, I'll let you say it because it's your neck of the woods.
We have a new CEO.
Yes. And who is he? Do you know him? Mr. Kenny Anderson.
I don't know much about him, but I've done a bit of research on him, and he was the assistant coach and rugby development manager for North Harbour, NPC.
Well, there you go. And I read somewhere he's a bit of a Scotsman.
Yeah, I've only read the media release from the board chairman, but no doubt he'll make his presence felt around the region during Heartland and try and continue on the work that Tanya's done in the last 3 years. Yeah,
well, I'll be personally looking forward to working with Tanya. haven't met her yet, but when she's over at Wairarapa, I'll get over there and hopefully it'll be a start of something good. But yeah, with a Scotsman in charge, though, you think the old wallet's going to be tightened, or you think he's going to open the wallet and bring in a few of his buddies from North Harbour down to mid Canterbury?
Anything's possible, Rabs.
Yeah, cheating buggers.
Uh,
Cheating buggers.
Yeah, so he starts on the 25th of March. I assume he's already down here or in the process of relocating. So yeah, no, it'll be good. It'll be good to have someone of his caliber in charge of the union down here, and we wish him all the best.
Yep. Well, I'll be having a chat later this afternoon with the new CEO of Buller Rugby, Phil Gower. So I'm really looking forward to having a chat with him. It sounds like that's going to start off a nice new relationship. He's taken over from the mercurial Andrew Duncan. So a lot of changes going on around the place. Still awaiting to see what's happening over on the coast with club draws and stuff like that. We all know about East Coast buggering off to the Chiefs. I still reckon we should get back Taranaki at the Canes. Horowhenua are still just bowling along. Wanganui bowling along. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, we do have the club stuff happening. And just as a side note here, I am involved with Steve White from clubrugby.co.nz. He's been having a few issues with his server people just recently with his website. But clubrugby.nz is working. And we're in the process of moving everything from Club Rugby from his old server into a new server. So if you see the odd hiccup on clubrugby.nz's website, that should be all hopefully sorted by tomorrow. So we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, but otherwise that's about us until maybe have a show on Friday. I don't know. I mean, we were going to do one last week, but I got too busy drinking. Yeah.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. And as I said, that's pretty much us for now. Thank you, Mike. And I'll be looking forward to these results over the weekend. And yeah, it'll be a case of, I suppose, signing off for another week. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Slava Ukraina, whatever they say. It's just my political statement. I'm on the side of the underdogs. And yeah, until next week, we'll catch us all later.
See you, mate.